Hey there, Wild Things! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Becky, and today we're doing art. Painting a large piece to go over my couch. It's going to be about 4 feet, and I have some sort of idea for it that I saw in a home goods store. So we're going to try to replicate the art I found today, and you're going to need just a couple things. Some paintbrushes, some paint you stole from your parents' house, some glitter, a can to put water in, and a canvas. I got my canvas from Michael's for about $30-ish. The trick is to measure the space so it fits just right. I am not an experienced artiste at all. I can doodle, and that's about it. So today we're gonna see how this goes. Join me and Bob, this little bobblehead I got for Christmas that says inspirational things. You just gotta tap it out, just like in life. I don't know. He says inspirational things. So me and Bob today are gonna be painting. Grab your supplies and come paint with us. So this is the inspiration painting I found at Target. It's got these delicate little white flowers and leaves, these pretty birds. The problem was, for this size canvas, it was way too expensive. The colors I'm using are a variety of teal blues, some white to lighten or darker them. I also have some gold for some details I might use later, some dark blue to get some unique tones. You're gonna need gray and brown if you do it exactly like mine. My first hurdle was figuring out how to hang a painting this size. So using the canvas as a guide, I made marks in the wall to try to find out exactly how I was going to hang it. My first idea was just to put pins in the wall and hang it off the pins, but as you can see, there is no lip over the edge of the canvas. The wood is too thick and the canvas itself wraps all the way around, which means that these hooks that I've installed won't work. So I need to pull them out and just use the pins, which is gonna do a lot of damage on the wall. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it wasn't pretty. So after an immense amount of time, an embarrassing amount of time, trying to figure this out, pulling out the nails that I already nailed in, trying to find a stud with my stud finder, I eventually figured out how I was going to hang this giant canvas, and we got to start painting. So I'm using my reference of the photo I took from my inspiration canvas, and I'm just kind of drawing in pencil where I want the branches to go on this canvas. You can't really see it in this shot, but just featherlight strokes to kind of give myself some sense of direction. And I also want the painting, the finished product, to have some sense of movement. Like, I don't just want all the branches to be sticking straight. So after finishing with the initial drawing and layout, I'm going to use some painter's tape, and this is a trick that was taught to me by my friend Leanne at one of her art classes. I will definitely link some of her details in the description box down below. Using the tape, I ripped it in half so you have thinner size pieces and some thicker size pieces, and went over my line drawings to make these branches. The key here is definitely varying thickness, widths, lengths, all of that to get something organic but interesting. Another thing that I forgot to do always while I was doing this is that all the tape needs to overlap each other so that when you pull it up you get a single strip, as well as come over the edge of the canvas so you have a little lip to pull it over from. So now that we're taped, we're going to move on to paint. I'm using a foam plate as my palette because I forgot to grab a palette, and I'm mixing a light gray, which is going to be the background of the entire canvas. Once it's completely dry, we can start pulling up the tape. Okay, so we finished painting the base layer. We have the trunks and stems all set up, and I've waited for it to dry. It's sufficiently dry to the touch. So now we're gonna peel up all the tape and get started on the flowers, the leaves, and the birds. So to make my branches, I mixed a nice brown color in two tones, a lighter tone and a darker tone, and just with horizontal strokes, filled in all of my branches. Next, with the darker mix of brown, I'm going to use that to add a little bit more detail and interest to some of the branches. How does it look? So here's a tip Leanne taught me. If you get a hard card and dip it in some paint, you can get these really cool strips of paint that make your branches look like birch trees, that like variants of colors. So I put some paint on the edge of the card, and I'm gonna press it flat against the canvas and kind of scrape the paint to get this effect. I'm not doing it to every tree. On some of the trees I did white, and on some of the trees I did the darkest brown that I had. Next, for the flowers, we're doing white flowers, and to make them I'm using pure white paint, and I'm pushing into the canvas and rotating the brush so you get that round imprint, and then adding a little flick at the top for the leaves. And the same with the flowers, I do 3 to 4 complete rotations while pressing into the canvas to get a nice floral shape. Make sure not to overcrowd the canvas. I tried to vary the flowers, not too many leaves. I still wanted it to reflect the inspiration canvas. Then I mixed up a unique shade of blue using all of my tones to go in the center and add some interest to all of my flowers. I chose blue specifically because the pillows and a lot of the decor in my house have these teals and blues, so I thought it would complement what I already have going on. Then I tried to add these birds for interest. I'm not a good bird drawer, but I did find a really cool tutorial that I'll link in my description box down below. Her birds turned out way better than mine, but hey, I tried. So my first thought with the glitter was to mix it into some of the flower petals while the paint was still wet. I actually didn't end up liking that technique, so what I did instead was put glitter on the canvas and dry brush it all over and let it dry as a whole piece instead of on individual petals. And here we go, this is the final product. How do you guys think I did? I really like it. It hangs beautifully above the couch, even though it is a smidge crooked. I think it really complements the space, and I'm glad that I don't just have a big empty space above my couch anymore. It was driving me crazy. So what do you guys think? I think it still holds enough interest and remnants of the original, but still looks uniquely my own. Do you agree? Alright, so we did it. Many hours later, we are finished our painting. I hope you guys used some of the tips and tricks that I found out. The tutorial for the birds will be linked down below. She turned out, or her birds are way better than what my birds look like. Oh my god, look at my dark circles! So it's definitely time for me to get some sleep, but... So I've recorded my outro like too many times. I'm very tired. It took actually quite a while to do this painting. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, and now I'm wondering if I shouldn't do one every like season. It might be nice to like change that up to something a little more summery later in the year, so we'll see how that goes. All links are down below if you guys want to know where I got the bird tutorial from, or where I kind of learned how to do this. I'll link Leanne's Instagram below, and please like and subscribe. My socials are also down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.